Hi everyone, my name is Lanie and welcome back to my channel.
Ryan Little.
So today I'm going to be bringing you guys a story time. So if you guys have seen like my channel with my friend, which is titled Lady and Jess, we do like a lot of like mukbangs and like story times there, but I have never done a story time for my channel. So I'm gonna be filming that, but this story is a little bit different just because it's like a little bit like on the scary side. But yeah, this is just basically something that happened to me and my family in a trip to Mexico. So if you guys want to hear all about it, make sure you guys just keep on watching. Okay, so what I didn't mention was that I am gonna be eating chips as I tell this story. So this is basically like a little mukbang, you know, mini mukbang, mini story time. So I'm gonna be having Doritos, the spicy Dorito, and then I'm gonna be having the regular hot Cheetos. I did get myself a cup of water, so I have a cup of water. So yeah, let's get right into story time. Okay, so a little background on my pueblito. They believe a lot in like ghosts and like spirits and like all of these things, but I don't. Like personally, I didn't grow there, I didn't grow up there. I was grown basically in a different like environment, so I'm not like, I don't believe in like, you know, like ghosts and like stuff like that. But how do you explain it? If anything scary like does happen, like I will literally have an entire whole ass panic attack and like literally just faint. I'm like such a scary cat for anything that's scary. Like I can't even watch a scary movie because I literally will like not be able to sleep for like the next month, you know. So basically with that being said, so one summer, like about 4 years ago, 3 years, yeah, like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, something more accurate, like 4 or 5 years ago, in the summer, me and my siblings decided to go to Mexico, just us three. So usually when we would go with my mom. I would either go with my mom, like my siblings and my mom, or my mom, my siblings, and my padrinos. But for that year, that's usually during December, so during like all the holidays. But for this year that I went with my siblings, it was a summer. So this year we go. We go to we go and we get there. We're settled into the room. It's been like two to 3 weeks that we've been staying there already. So we go to sleep one night, and usually we would like right before we would go to sleep, we would go to the restroom, brush our teeth, and we would go like in pairs or threes because our restroom is like not close to the house. I don't even know how to explain how far. Half of a block we would have to like walk to get to our restroom, like from our house to the restroom and from the restroom back. And there's like literally like no like light posts or anything that like basically gives us light, so it's just like pitch dark outside. We did have a light bulb hanging from like one of our ceilings. That was the only thing that was giving us light. So we would walk to the restroom and walk back just because it was just scary, the fact that it was like pitch dark. There would always be like animals, like, you know, everywhere, like I don't know, like zorrillos. What is zorrillos called in English? I don't know. I'm having a moment. There would be like skunks like all around and like stuff like that. Just different types of like weird animals because we live like in a pueblito, so basically there's nothing but like land and like I don't know, dirt and trees and like all that stuff. So yeah, and whatever. So we went out to the restroom that night. We went back into the house. My family, my grandparents went to sleep, and my tia and her husband went to sleep as well. and then it was just me, my sister, and my brother in our room. So my brother's laying down in one bed, me and my sister are on the other bed, and we're all just like in our phones, like not really paying attention to anything that's like going on. And out of nowhere, me and my sister start having a conversation. I don't remember what this conversation was about at all, but we were just started talking and we're laughing. I remember we're laughing and we're laughing pretty loud. So then I guess my brother heard like a noise, and he was like, hey guys, like shh, like be quiet. And we were like, oh my god, like you're annoying, like, you know, shut up. So we're like, okay, you know what, like just whatever he said, doesn't matter. And we just keep going on about like our laughing and our conversation, and we're just like being really loud. And then my brother's like, you guys, like be quiet. And when he said that, like we heard something too. In between the restroom and the house, there's like a little like cuartito, like a little room where they used to like rent it to one of my other uncles and his wife, but they had moved, so that room was empty basically. So in between that room and like our room, which is basically the house, there's like a little hallway, and in that hallway there's like a bunch of toys, like bags with toys. So when my little nephews would go to the house, they would play with their toys, they would find their toys there. And there was also like a little like tiny like shelf where my grandma used to put her like ollas and her cazuelas and her like all like plates and cups and stuff like that. So that was what was in between like both buildings, like the house itself and like the little room itself. We hear a noise, and it was like right next to the room. So this is the room, and then this is the hall here, and then this is the other room. So our wall from my room was part of that little hallway, you know. So basically our room here and the toys here. So we hear like you know, they're stepping all over the toys, like, you know, where you're just like kind of pushing the toys around with your feet and you're kind of just like trying to get through. That's what it kind of sounded like to us. We just stay quiet and we just stay like listening, and out of nowhere, like we have like the doors from our house are like two big like metal like doors that like they're just metal doors basically, and those two metal doors make a lot of noise. Because they're metal, they're like thin metal. So we just started hearing these two doors like being like pushed, you know, pushed and tugged. So all you hear is like if you're flapping like a piece of like a piece of lamina, and we're just like, whoa, like they're trying to break in. And like the first thought that came to our head, we're like, wow, like somebody is really trying to break in like right now, like bro, like what do we do? So we go out and we're like, okay, we're gonna be quiet, like, you know, we're gonna be the quietest we can. And I don't know why in Mexico everything is made out of lamina. So the door to our room is made out of lamina, and the door has like a little ganchito, like a little thingy where you just like click out, and it just basically goes like, and like it opens. So we like did that, but we thought that if we did it slow it was gonna be like not too loud, but that wasn't the case. So we open it and it's like boom, like, you know, we're like, wow, like whoever's outside already knows that we're awake, you know, we're gonna go out. So we just walk out, and as soon as you walk out, you walk into the kitchen. So when you walk into the kitchen, you turn left, and there's two rooms. There's one room on the right and one room on the left. So the room on the right is my grandpa and my grandma's room, and the room on the left is my tia and her husband's room. So we're like, okay, we're gonna go like wake up our tia so she could wake up her husband, because that's our best bet, like, you know, that's like the best thing we could do right now. So we go and we're like, hey, like, you know, we're like whispering because we didn't want to wake my grandpa, because the way my grandpa is, like, he'll be like, you know what, I'll go defend you guys, you know, and he's already a little bit older in age. So we were like not about to do that. So we go to my tia and we're like whispering, we're like, hey, like, you know, like open the door, like get up. And my grandpa comes out. So we're like, okay, like now he, like, you know, now he knows. But apparently, like, he actually overheard like the actual like pulling and tugging of the door. So we were just like, okay, like, you know, we're not crazy, like he heard it too. My grandma wakes up, and then my tia wakes up, and my tia's husband wakes up. So my tia's husband, he's like, yeah, let me go check, let me go put my shoes on. My tia, no damns given, she was like, I'm going to check. So she like walks, well, she like just like goes straight out into like the back. So there's literally nobody. Like there's nothing back there. There's just like the restroom and the little room and where you wash like your hands and a bunch of like animals. So I'm just like, bro, like literally, like, what are you doing, you know? And she just walks out with no like, I don't know, Alisa Palo or Escoba or I don't know, something. You know, she just walks out there super brave, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna like save the world, and you know, I'm gonna go get this person. So she walks out there, and obviously her husband is like, what are you doing, like, you know? And my sister was like, what are you doing, like, you know? And so then my sister, she runs back into the room, and she goes to get the raid, like the raid for like the ants and the like cockroaches and all of that. So she goes to get that, and then she gets me the hairspray, and I'm like, okay, like we're gonna defend these, like, okay, at least we got something, you know, like we're gonna go behind her and defend her. And we go and like defend her. My grandpa, my brother, my tia's husband actually had left already to go like surround like the whole entire house and make sure that there was like nobody outside, like, you know, that there was nobody like close to the house. So everybody goes and checks like that there's nobody. And keep in mind that it had actually rained that morning, so the floor, it was pretty wet, so then that means that like the dirt was like mud. So so we're like, there, like if there's anybody, definitely there's gonna be footprints. Well, they found no footprints. My grandpa had, well, actually he woke up the next day pretty early in the morning just to make sure that there was like no footprints and nobody could have like gotten rid of them. So he went to go do a second round, and he didn't find anything. So so there was basically no footprints, no nothing. And all you could hear when we walked out was like the dogs howling. Like the dogs were all howling and they were all barking, and we were just so like terribly like confused. We didn't understand. So my grandma starts talking about how there's like been like rumors like around the like pueblito that there's this one guy that like is trying to break into people's houses and steal like their stuff. So we're like, wow, like it might have been him, definitely, like, you know. But then we come to realize that the doors, the lamina doors, that's the first set of a door. There's another bigger door that closes over those two lamina doors, which is just basically like so the flies doesn't go, like the flies don't go through and don't get inside the house. We're like, how is this closed? Like if there would have been like a terrible man trying to like break into our house, why would he close the sprint after he leaves? Like why would he be like, oh, like, you know, I couldn't break in, like let me close the sprint just because, you know, they had it closed. So yeah, that's basically what happened. People like my grandma and my aunt thought that it could have been a dog, that one of the dogs tried, like was the one like pushing around the toys and what was actually making the noises. But we don't think so, just because of the pulling and tugging of the door. Like a dog wouldn't do that, you know. Like it was so like, it was such a harsh like pulling and tugging of a door that like the dog does not have enough strength. Like no dog has enough strength to actually do that. It was just crazy. It was just something that I had never experienced. It was just such a crazy experience for me because I don't believe in any of this stuff, but like what other explanation could there be? Like, you know, like I don't know. It was just really crazy. Up until like today, I remember when we left, we left my grandma's house like probably like a week after that incident happened. And I remember after we left, my grandma called one day and she was like, hey, you guys remember what happened the other day? Well, it happened again. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. If it would have been me by myself, I probably would have fainted there. I probably would have like collapsed. So that's gonna be it for this crazy story. So like I mentioned before, I am not such a believer of like all these crazy things, but I'm also not like close to that idea or to those ideas. um so you know, it could be anything could happen. So with that being said, that's the end of my video. So yes, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you guys liked the story. Make sure you guys also comment down below what you guys thought about the video, or if you guys have had any scary things happen to you guys. And also make sure you subscribe, that would help me a lot. And yeah, until the next video, thank you guys so much for watching.